Okay, guys, we are live. It's Mark here. How you doing? Mark from Success Mindset Life. I'm a mindset and high performance mentor, and want to do these quick daily live streams. I'm calling it 10 minutes to success mindset, because I want to share, as much as I can on these daily quick live streams I'm doing to try and help people out there that even if you're not brand new to this, you'll get lots and lots and lots of value, because I've been doing this over 14 years. This is my expertise. I've been with the best people on the planet for many years and working with many of them still. So good to see you coming on there. I see Breed. Thanks for tuning in live. Awesome. And so I'm going to be doing these daily, guys, as I've been saying, and you'll get loads of value. They all are going to build in each other. You're going to get so much from it. Today we're going to talk about choice and the power of what one of the highest mental faculties that we have is choice. But if we're not trained to use it, people don't know how to use it, and that's just as simple as it is. If you're not trained how to use it and you don't know how to use it correctly, we weren't born given a manual about the mind. We should have. But this is where I come in and can help you with that. So getting started here, guys, remember everything is a choice, and we all need to remember that and know that everything is a choice. So I've got a couple of things up on the board here I'm going to talk about, but just to start off, there's laws in the universe called universal laws. They're part of how the universe is made up. They have there's man-made laws, right? So you've got man-made laws by man. You can break those laws, but just like there's man-made laws, universal laws exist, and you cannot break them. They're what's called omnipresent. They're just like one of them is called gravity. Welcome, Martina. I just see you coming in there. One of them is called gravity. Now, it doesn't matter what time of day it is. Doesn't matter when it is. If you go to walk off a building, you're gonna fall. It's that's what I mean by universal laws, and they are part of the universe, just like gravity is. So this law I'm telling you about is something that's relevant. Just like we're spinning, guys, on this, whatever you want to call this round thing, we're spinning through the universe, and most people don't think about that. We're actually on a spinning ball going through the universe. So there's universal laws, whether you know it or not. Now you're starting to learn about them if it's new to you. So this one we're going to talk about is called the law of polarity. Now, this universal law, it states that everything has an opposite. Everything has an up, a down, an in, an out. So a box doesn't have an outside without an in. It's kind of how it is a box, because it has to have both. Just like there's a left side and a right side to me, there's positive and there's negative, which is one of the things I'm going to talk about here, guys. Positive and negative. And by the way, guys, if you're tuning in here live, put in 1. If you're tuning in here in the replay, put in 2, just so that I can see who's live and who's on the replay. And please feel free to put in comments here, guys. Put in something you're grateful for today while we're doing this, just to get a bit of positiveness in this live stream every day with your comments and stuff. Obviously, gratitude is a powerful, powerful thing. So getting back to this, so there's all sorts of in, out, up, down. That's what makes up what's called duality and makes up the earth. So with that, there's a good and there's a bad. There's positive and negative. But what the law of polarity states is that, yes, there's good and bad, but it's what you look for. It's what you decide to look for. So in between that, so there's good and bad, but in between that, everything just is. So that's, everything just is. So you decide then, just like I put in the arrows here, guys, just like I put in the arrows on the picture that was on the thumbnail for this, that there's a choice. You can go that way, you can go straight on, you can go that way. It's like positive, negative, or everything just is. So it's up to you. That's where we exercise the choice and we go to work on our mind. Like, you could use this time to really start to go to work on your mind and develop your mindset, so that whenever there's another crisis, guys, because look, there's a pandemic virus, Right now, there's been many other things before. There's been the bird flu, the Spanish flu, etc. They've all been at different stages, and there's been all sorts of different crises. But how you deal with the crisis is how well you've worked on this number one asset we have. We are called what's called the highest form of creation. That's what we are as humans, with the highest form of creation, because we have the power, this mind that why term as mindset, how you see yourself, how you see yourself in all areas of your life through your mind, and that's something you develop. And one of those things is what we're talking about today. I'm going to be talking about many things as we go through these live streams daily, giving out different things that's going to help you here. The thing we're talking about today, choice, is one of the highest parts of the mind, but it only serves you if you use it well. It only serves you if you work it and use it really well. So that's one of the things we're going to help you with today. So you're exercising your mind and getting really good at using it, strengthening it. It means that you live a better life right now if you already have a strong mind, or going forward you'll live a better life because your mind is creating your reality all of the time, guys. That's an absolute fact that's been shown to us now by all sorts of science and quantum physics. If you know it, if you heard about quantum physics, it's a science that understands the mind. So it's all been shown to us. So it's just a matter of putting this stuff into practice now, and making the best of our life then from that. Because if there's another pandemic, another crisis at any time, it might be anything. It might not be a virus, but you'll be able to deal with it much better, rather than getting sucked into fear and negativity and being dragged that way. Because what you focus on through choice, what you focus on, you then create in your life. That's how it is. That's how life is. You manifest your life through how you're currently thinking. So there was a guy called Waldo Emerson. He was an amazing philosopher back in quite a few years ago. It was back in the last 100 years. He was in around, I didn't look up when he passed away, but he was the early part of last century. But he was a really famous philosopher. You may have heard of him, but he wrote a book, In Tune with the Infinite. And one of the things he said is, just like what I said there, just like he understood the universal laws, he said nothing is good or bad except your thinking makes it so, right? So your choice, your thinking makes something either good or bad, okay? It's just what we've been saying. So everything just is. So it's up to you. Do you look at this as a good thing? Do you look at this thing as a bad thing? And also, the other side of it is everything exists. So if something is really bad, it also has to be, this is universal law, guys. If something's really bad, it also has to be, in at least 50% of it, really, really, really good. It has to be, because that is the yin and the yang, the good and the bad, the in and the out. That's the law of polarity. It's a universal law. It's a fact. So if there's a crisis and it seems really, really bad, it also has to be really, really good in some way. So there's many things we can prove that right now, because people are, yes, there's, unfortunately, there's people passing away from this thing. But there's also, yes, you could say that that's, not especially if it's somebody close to you, etc. It's something you have to deal with and call it what you like. But there's also a lot of positives, because it has to exist in this. Like, for example, people are getting time to reflect. You could say that, if you understand the universe that has created everything, could have created this to help get the Earth back to some sort of ozone layer where things could exist in a better way. Look at the dolphins. Look at coming into shore now, because there's so much less pollution, and so many things happening in the world in terms of nature because of less pollution. The fact that people can reflect, they're not rushing around as much now, so they have time to reflect. It could be, and if you're using it really well, a time to really work on your mindset if you've never done that before, and start to work on your mind. The number one asset we have, guys, if you use this time to work on it, your life's going to be better, period. If you do that, just if you study this, you'll understand that your life is going to get better. by working on your mind. So there's many positives that you can take from this. You could look for as many positives all day long as there is negatives, but everything just is at the center. So he said, nothing is good or bad except your thinking makes it so. It's up to you. So to look at these three things, there was basically, like you can either let circumstances control you, or you're in control. It's up to your thinking. So if you think, oh my God, this is doom and gloom, I can't do anything, that's all you focus on, you don't see anything else, then that's controlling you. But if you take control and you go, oh, this has happened, I've got a strong mindset. This is where the strong mindset comes in. I've got a strong mindset. I know that this has happened, right? Okay, I have to do these things and protect myself and to be responsible. But there's so much opportunity, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to use this time really well. And you may see opportunities. Like, guys, there's opportunity all the time. Doesn't matter what the situation. Think of a recession. Why is there that there's people that focus on the negative and they see nothing but doom and gloom, and they just literally survive through a recession? But there's people that see completely different, because they look for what's good and what's positive, and they thrive. They become millionaires and multimillionaires. It's all showing. So choice, guys. It's all about developing your choice. So there's three things that I heard this one time, and I thought it was a really good way of looking at it. So everything just happens, right? Everything just happens, right? So it is what it is. If it is a situation like this, it is what it is. You accept it and you go, right, okay, how am I gonna look at this, right? Then number two, you harvest the good. You start to go, okay, just like I said, this is another way of looking at it. This has happened. Okay, I'm going to deal with this and do what I need to do to look after things and be responsible. And, like at the minute, I'll wash my hands. I self-isolate for a while. It's only for a period of time, and it helps the whole situation with yourself and others. But then you look for the good. You harvest the good, and you look for the positive. And remember, guys, everything is a choice. If you look for the negative and you start letting it control you, then that's what you've decided. It's a choice. If you look for what's positive, then you start to choose and take control of the situation, right? So you harvest the good. And then what do? You forgive the rest. You forgive the rest and you let go. Let go. Just like if someone does something on you, you could say, oh my God, that's terrible. That's really, that's negative. That's so bad. But if you harvest that negative, all you're doing is drinking poison and poisoning yourself. If you understand that, that you can only affect yourself negative by holding a grudge and holding on to negative things. You got to let it go and let things go, because what you're doing is you're serving yourself. You're living these three things. Just like now, whatever is negative, let it go. It is what it is. I know what I need to do at the minute to look after things. So I'm going to forgive the rest, do what I need to do, let go of anything that isn't serving me, and look at what's positive, right? So really good way to look at it. And the last thing is basically, guys, we just got to know that everything's a choice and it's up to us. We've got the power within us to literally look at what's good or bad. We have that power. And to finish off, guys, there's a guy called W. Clement Stone. He was, he's in the book Think and Go Rich, and he basically was the wealthiest person back in 1970. There's different people that became the wealthiest person in the world. The time Think Rich was wrote. It was the guy who got Napoleon Hill to write the book. But then you've got in 1970 is W. Clement Stone, because he had helped Napoleon Hill, and he had learned all this stuff and about how the mind works and how to be positive. And he really, all the stuff that I'm teaching, he had learned all that, right? This guy really understood the mind and how it creates your life. So W. Clement Stone, he was the wealthiest man in the United States in 1970, and he used to say, because he understood this, he understood everything we're talking about, and he used to say, no matter what happened, if it was like what some people might look at something really negative, he used to say, that's good. Because He decided to look for what's good. It was his way of looking for what's good. If someone employee did something horrendous and he had to let them go, he just goes, that's good. So he always looked for the positive. And he became the wealthiest man in the United States in 1970 before he passed. So there you go, guys. Your mind creates your life. He always looked for the good no matter what. Just like I said in a parable, I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago, I read a parable, and it was a Zen parable, and it was basically about a farmer. If you remember, it's in the recent ones I did, and that's why, guys, you should show up here every day, because you'll learn so much and you'll be able to relate things as we go along. But the farmer said every time something happened, there was good things and bad things that people could perceive as that. And he said, whenever they said, oh my God, that was horrendous, oh my God, that's terrible, he goes, maybe. And if something really good happened, he goes, maybe, because he looked at everything just is. Now, obviously, as I did that live stream, I said, look, you can look at what is, and at least you're on more of a positive side than being negative, or you can look for what's good and really go all in terms of, and obviously W. Clement Stone did that, and he became the wealthiest man in the world. So that is really what you want to do, not just look at what is. That's a good thing to do initially, to go, it just is. So it's up to me. But then look for the positive, look for the power, the positive, the opportunities, etc. And then that's how you become the exponentially successful. It's up to you how successful you want to become by using this. So there you go, guys. That's that wee concept. So thank you for tuning in. Thanks for your comments. And if you're tuning in later or on the replay, I really appreciate it. Thank you for showing up. Please, let's get to know each other. Let's use this platform to inspire each other. When you're on here, put in your comments, guys. Put in your gratitude, and I put in 1 if you're watching it live. Put in 2 if you're watching the replay. Yeah, so keep showing up here, guys. Please share this out to people. Let's get more people to see this information that need it, especially because there's no doubt that mindset is needed more than ever right now, but it's always needed. It's the #1 asset we have. You know, so it's always needed. If you want to be successful, it's so needed. And if you want to get 3 times a guess, thriving instead of just surviving, this is where mindset, guys, is going to really, you know, be the best thing you could ever do for yourself. So with that, guys, we'll finish off. By the way, I'm doing an interview on Friday night, and it's with this guy called Liam Mulholland, and he's an amazing nutritionist, microbiologist. He really understands everything about the body and biology and this whole virus thing. I've got him. It's awesome. He did a video and it went viral. There was over 500,000 views on it. So it's going to be a really good video. He's a very charismatic guy as well. So yeah, please let people know about that. I'll be putting up a post. We'll share that. It's going to be on Friday evening at 7 p.m. And you'll really get loads of value. This guy really knows his stuff. That's why his video went viral, like 500,000 plus views. Yeah, I'm excited. So anyway, have an awesome evening. Thanks for you guys tuning in live. Really appreciate it. Talk to you soon. All right, guys. Be well. And remember, your inner world creates your outer world. We got to work a mindset, guys. Make sure you're showing up here, because your inner world mindset creates your outer world. Period. Fact. That's a fact. Okay. Talk to you soon.